In this episode we're going to make sure that absolutely no fluids can flow from the motor cavity along the conductors towards the inverter.
Alright, let's remove this. First the insulators. This thing over here. Piece of paper. There. Insulating sleeves. There. So if we have a coolant leak here in the rotor cavity, then the coolant can go all the way out there to the bus bars, and then the coolant will come out here, and that will connect into here, so it can go into the inverter. We do not want that, so we're going to completely seal this section off, so no coolant or oil can go to the inverter, because this new seal may leak and oil may go in here, and it may also go here, and it may also go to the inverter. So just for safety I'm going to put these sleeves back, but first I will cut them in half and I put them back and scoot them all the way on there. So then they will be cut off where you see the black line there, and then from this surface over here until past the black line it will be filled with epoxy, so it will be watertight. Now the sleeves are in place. They're roughly half an inch or 10-15 millimeters offset from this surface. So next we're going to close this surface over here with regular tape, clear tape, and then we can fill this volume with the epoxy. We can just take this stator and put it like this, and then we can pour in the epoxy from there. The tape is on. I chose clear tape because then it's easy to see through the tape if the epoxy is everywhere. Okay, I put it upright like that. You can see it's all sealed still with the tape. Put some blue tape for protection so I don't spill the epoxy on the parts. And then I calculated you need 14, which is 1/4 by 3.5 by 3 centimeters. It's 150 milliliter if you multiply that. That's the quantity of epoxy I plan to put in here. Next we make black flexible epoxy. It is potting compound. Potting compound is also used for electronics a lot, to encapsulate electronics and so on. Does not shrink, so I thought maybe this is a good idea. It is expensive. In total this is 450 milliliters. It's about $50 of Amazon, so that's like kind of expensive. But yeah, let's mix it a 1-to-1 ratio. 150 milliliters I will make for filling the motor. Be sure to first stir the pot so everything is homogeneous before mixing it. I forgot about that, so I had to put it back in the pot. Just follow the manual properly. And when you stir, stir gently, not like a crazy man. Don't add too much air bubbles. So now I'm mixing it, the two components A and B, and then we have to let it sit for 15 minutes in the air, and then we have to gently break the bubbles with the mixing paddle, and then we have to pour it into the cavity. So after 15 minutes waiting, it's still too thin like water, so I'm going to wait more time until it's thick enough so it will not leak out through the clear tape. I left it a little bit too long in the sun, and all of a sudden it became hard. It's 120 Fahrenheit, which is like, I don't know, 50 degrees Celsius or something. So I have to start over. Expensive mistake. Actually it's Celsius. It's 117 Celsius. Oh, that's hot. Dang it, yes, smoke came off of it. Dang it. Alright, let's pour in a little bit, see if it leaks a bit. Leaks a lot. Not yet. It's leaking out. Not good. So the epoxy is getting warm, it's leaking out. And I catch it and I'll throw it back in. until it's cured. It should cure in the next 10 minutes. Solidify. What a mess. So what I should have done, instead of putting these sleeves back on these things before I epoxied it, I should have used liquid electrical grease, so that if moisture ever gets in there, it does not get trapped between the conductor and the sleeve, and then create more corrosion, because it's difficult to evaporate from this. But well, oh well, now it's already done. So something to learn maybe. Also now it's like 12 hours later, it has cured the epoxy, so we're going to pull off the tape. Alright, so this is the result. Looks pretty watertight to me. And from the inside, you can see the protective sleeves, and then the epoxy. Also note that I did not let the epoxy go onto this surface, because this surface needs to stay clean for when we reassemble the two halves. Also note that this took like 2 hours to harden, much longer time than the first attempt. When I put the epoxy out in the sun, it became very hot, and within half an hour it became solid. And you can see that it is still flexible. You can bend it. It's still like a kind of a rubber material. So with expansion and contraction and maybe some forces, it will still move along with the deformations and whatnot, hopefully giving a better watertight seal compared to when you buy epoxy that is not as flexible. As a finishing touch, I put liquid electrical tape on each of the 3 conductors, because it used to have the insulating sleeve. It doesn't have that anymore. And I put multiple layers on there, so I put a layer on that, let it dry, then the second layer is third layer, let it dry every time in between. Otherwise the insulating layer may be too thin. You can also say much cheaper is to just use silicone or some caulk, latex, for the bathroom or kitchen. It's just $2 or $3 for this. Also the viscosity is much higher, so it's much thicker, so it doesn't drip out. I mean, it will drip a little bit because it's a lot. Maybe this is a better solution. Let me know in the comments below.